Hey there and welcome into Taylor Kitchen. Today we're making Swedish meatballs. Man, they are so good. It's that creamy sauce that really nobody knows what it's made out of, but it just tastes so wonderful. Now I'm starting in here with about 1/4 of a white onion that I've chopped very finely. And I'm going to add to that 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs that I'm going to soften with 1/4 cup of milk. So that all goes in there. And I'm just gonna give it a tiny mix around with a little pinch of salt. Now, I've had Swedish meatballs at IKEA, and honestly, that has probably been about the extent of it. If I had them elsewhere, I really don't recall. But it wasn't something that I grew up eating. And I actually love meatballs of any kind. And these are so absolutely delicious. And they're really easy to do. You can do it in a big Dutch oven like I'm gonna do today, or you can put them in your slow cooker so they'll be ready for you when you get back home. Super easy recipe, and the sauce comes together like that. You just cook the meatballs in the sauce. Easy, easy, easy. To this, I'm going to crack in an egg. Gonna beat that just a bit. I like to mix everything first and then add my meat. My beef that I'm going to add to this. Now you can add part beef, part sausage, but I'm gonna go just full on beef. And it's a relatively lean, I think I bought a 85-15 blend. But that egg is nice and mixed around, a little bit of pepper. Then I have garlic powder, a teaspoon of that. What makes this iconically Swedish is nutmeg. Nutmeg is widely used in Swedish dishes, and I take one of these cloves of nutmeg essentially, and I'm going to grate it on my grater zester until I've got about 1/4 of a teaspoon. You don't want to add too much, it can be overpowering very, very quickly. If all you have is the ground stuff, that's totally fine. You can do that. Wow, when you smell a fresh nutmeg, there is nothing like it, folks. And then I'm going to kind of break apart this beef and put it in here as well. And this is good grass-fed beef I'm a proponent of if you can afford it, because you know beef is getting super pricey. We don't eat a lot of it, but when I do buy it, I like to buy good grass-fed beef. Grass-fed, grass-finished is kind of important. If you know, you know. So anyway, that goes all in there. And I want to give it as gentle, oh, I almost forgot a tiny bit. We don't want to waste any. Give it a gentle mix around with my fork. I'm not going to involve my hands just yet because I'm going to need those when I make the balls out of these. I am curious to know, do you get the Swedish meatballs when you go to IKEA, if you go to IKEA, or do you bypass the cafeteria in IKEA, or do you get something else? Leave a comment below and let me know what your favorite IKEA thing is. That looks very well mixed up, so we're gonna go back here to the stove and I'm gonna make the simple sauce that makes these Swedish meatballs. Welcome to Taylor Kitchen. If you haven't yet, please take a moment to subscribe and turn on notifications to our YouTube channel. Click that bell icon below to make sure you're getting all the latest from us, and give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. We love to hear from you and it really helps out our channel. Thanks so much. Okay, here we go with the sauce, and it's really, really easy. I've got a couple tablespoons of butter, and what I want to do is make a roux, which is going to thicken the sauce. The roux is basically equal parts of butter or another fat and flour, and here's my 2 tablespoons of flour gone in, and this is going to cook for just a bit. While that's cooking, I'm going to add a couple other pinches of salt and more pepper. I can smell the butter and the flour starting to toast. That's really yummy. And one of the things that makes these Swedish meatballs is just a tiny bit of Dijon mustard. You just kind of add it in for extra oomph and flavor and a wee bit of warmth on the back of your throat. So good. Going to add in my garlic powder. I'm going to grate in some more nutmeg. Just gives it such an amazing flavor. I love nutmeg. Other thing that makes these iconically Swedish meatballs is soy sauce. You probably didn't know that was going to go in there, right? Gives it a really nice umami flavor. Soy sauce, so good. And then some beef broth. I'm going to give that just a little whisk around to make sure I dissolve any little clumps of flour that are left. I want a nice smooth sauce. And the last thing that goes in here is a cup of cream. Now I am using a full fat coconut milk because I was out of cream. And I want to make these a little more friendly to myself. That happens to be lactose intolerant, so this is going to be a slightly better option for me. It still give it a nice creamy flavor. Use cream if you want. Coconut milk works really, really well too. Now what I love about this recipe is you don't have to make the meatballs in advance. You're going to cook them right in this beautiful sauce that you're creating. And I use a cookie scoop to kind of make sure I'm getting evenly sized meatballs, and then just gently roll them and then plop them gently into this beautiful, beautiful sauce that you've made. And they're just going to cook away. I've turned the heat down to very, very low. I want them to cook gently. Now all I need to do is cover this and let it cook for about 25-30 minutes, and these meatballs will be perfectly done. You won't believe how moist and juicy they are. They are perfect. These have been bubbling away for about 25-30 minutes. Wow. That sauce became nice and creamy, and those meatballs are just perfectly done. And so let's plate up some Swedish meatballs. Now typically you would have Swedish meatballs over something that's going to soak up all this sauce. So think about mashed potatoes, egg noodles, even a nice piece of sourdough toast down. I'm just going to show you a couple, and I'm going to show you a different way to serve these. So on my plate. Wow. And then I need a wee bit of that sauce drizzled over. Nice. So typically, Swedish meatballs are served with lingonberry jam. Lingonberry jam is hard to find. Now I did purchase it previously from IKEA, and I really like it. It's kind of almost like a cranberry-ish type thing. So think about maybe cranberry relish with this. But I thought it would be really fun to serve this with some pomegranate arils to give it kind of the same sweet tart vibe. And then the same breadcrumbs that I used to go into the meatball mixture, I toasted it up with a little bit of butter, and that's going to go over the top. And making your own breadcrumbs is so easy. And you can check out the link below for my super quick video on how to make your own and save yourself from throwing away bread. And then also a little bit of parsley, because green is always the thing. That's pretty. If you can see right into those meatballs, they are luscious. They are so loaded with flavor. And at the risk of burning my mouth, I'm going to dig into a little bit here. This is one of the juiciest, most succulent meatballs you will ever have in your life. You've got to try this. You saw how easy it was and how quickly it came together, whether you do it in a Dutch oven like this or whether you do it in your slow cooker, and open up the lid of that slow cooker when you get back from running your errands and you have dinner ready, mashed potatoes, buttery egg noodles, whatever your vibe is for these. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. Something to soak up that sauce. It is essential. So check out this easy recipe. It's on tkfoodie.com.